Hi, welcome to my blog. Today I want to talk about a free and easy treatment for eczema or any of those sort of skin conditions, dermatitis or so forth, that is free, easy to use, easy to apply, but very controversial. So what am I talking about? Well, first of all, you've come to my page because you have a skin problem perhaps, and eczema is no fun. That itchiness, that constant uncomfortableness, or you can have eczema in places that you really don't want, where it rubs onto other areas, it cracks, it splits, it bleeds. It's very awkward, very uncomfortable. You've probably spent a lot of money on creams that seem to do little effect, and that's really expensive. But here's a free eczema treatment, and it's called urine therapy. If you're new to urine therapy, this is an age-old therapy that we have used from the beginning of time. Before there was medicine, there was natural treatments, and urine is a natural treatment. Now, before you get grossed out, the beauty of this is you can use it topical. Now, there are people that use urine therapy who do drink, but by rubbing a little bit of your urine onto your skin is not going to hurt. In fact, it's going to take away that pain. It's going to take away the relief of that itch. And eventually, it should take away the eczema. But there are rules you need to apply in order to get to that space. Now, urine therapy, the downside is it can be long. It can take a while for it to happen. And people get very impatient and they give up. And so, therefore, they don't believe in it or it doesn't work. But urine, let's understand, first of all, urine is a byproduct of your blood. Urine contains an antidote because your body produces antidotes within the blood system, which is in your urine. So that works really well, and it works very well on your skin because urea is a natural moisturizer, a natural lock-in moisturizer. And you can know that from urea creams that are on the market. So, cracked heel creams and those sort of things all have urea in it. The beauty of it is if you're grossed out by the thought of having to drink, rubbing onto your skin is really effortless. So give it a try. Rub it onto a small amount of area and just see what happens. Experiment yourself if you feel not confident to go there. And as you get more confident, you'll find that you'll be using it and applying it on all the areas that are irritating you. Now, there are certain rules about it. So, for instance, it's always best to use your morning urine because it is the strongest. It contains the most potent as you have slept and done all the rest period. So simply rubbing it onto the skin in that affected area will sometimes irritate the skin. You'll feel a little bit of itchiness or a little bit of redness, but that will dissipate. That will vanish. The smell of urine, if you're worried about that evaporates. So you won't smell it. And your skin will be very soft and supple. Now, urine therapy on the skin is fantastic. It's a model's tip. It's very anti-aging, so if you are building up the courage to drink it, most people that I've filmed in my documentary talk about how their skin improves rapidly when they first started drinking it. And of course, it is anti-aging. I mean, I'm 51. Look at me. I'm doing pretty well. That's right, 51. Okay, so by applying urine therapy onto the skin, basically it's massaging it for as long as possible and letting it dry. Don't wash it off. Don't worry about the smell. It dissipates, like I say, and leaving it on as long as possible. The more you do it, the more consistent you are, the better results. And that's half the problem because some people give up and they say, I tried it and it didn't work. But if they didn't try it for long enough, I would probably recommend 3 times a day if you really can go that far. But just start off slow. It might take as long as you've had the eczema. So if you've had eczema for a few years, you might take a few months before you start seeing results. But I can guarantee that the pain will disappear, the itch will disappear, which is the first thing people notice, which is great. I have many people come to me who have spoken about it and used this and applied it. But you also need to do another step, and that's urine enemas. Yeah, I know, it sounds freaky. Don't worry about it too much. It's only 10 to 40 mil, so it's a small amount of urine mixed with warm water or chamomile tea. utilizing it into yourself to let it penetrate through the intestine walls. And this is why you don't use volume, because if you use volume for enemas, you'll be running to the toilet vacating. It's a great flush system, but it works really well like that. But we're not using it for that method. We're using it to absorb into the intestine wall. And that works very rapidly into the blood system, in through to your skin. Don't forget, the blood follicles are always out to the tips of your skin. So combine those two together if you can, and leave it in the body as long as you can, which always has the best effect. Now, in my film Urine, one of the ladies, I put a section in there. She used to use aged urine, soak her feet for an hour every day, which works really rapidly. And she got rid of welts and other things. She didn't have eczema, but she had other skin issues, which worked really well. You might be at that point, you're just going, you know what, I've had enough. I've had enough with the steroid creams. You know, A, you get a little tube. B, they're really expensive. You might have more eczema than what's in the tube. You're spending a fortune and finding little results. So this beauty of this therapy, that it is free. It's easy to use. It's easy to apply. Nobody has to know you're doing it. So you can do it in secret. You can also do a compress, which is, soaking, gauze or a cloth in urine and then applying it onto the affected areas. So that way it absorbs. But depending on your pH level of your urine, you can also irritate or burn the skin a little bit too much if you do that too long. So the massage technique is always best. Because urine will be, sort of the pH leveler anyway for the issue with eczema, and it helps. You might just see a lot more redness to start with, which is a normal reaction. But it will be less flaky. It'll be more supple. You'll have a lot more people comment about your skin improvement. And I just had that the other day, this gentleman who came up to me just randomly, who'd saw the film, and he said, look, man, I tried it, built up the courage, and I did it. And I find it is relieving my itchiness and that awkwardness that you get from that constantly wanting to scratch, or the constant flaking, and, just that awkwardness. And the whole idea of this therapy is just to give you a free option, a free choice. Some of those medications that the doctors can prescribe are very dangerous. You only need to read the side effects for some of these eczema pills, and I watch a lot of American TV, so I get these commercials, and they, do not take if you have tuberculosis, do not take if you have an immune deficiency, do not take if you've, all these things, and side effects were things like causing suicide attempt. What's the hell? Suicide effect from a medication just for your skin is just ludicrous in itself. So, here's a natural way. Urine therapy has been around for centuries. It works very well. It only takes a little bit longer than normal, but if you've lived with eczema for a long time and you get to that tipping point where you've just had enough, give it a go. Just, try a little bit, try an area or something, just massages onto it for an hour, and just be conscious, be aware of how it feels. You're not itching anymore, how it looks, and then you'll become more confident to maybe go bigger and take bigger steps and utilize it in a bigger way, and see that, this is a really easy, effective way. Smell your skin to see if you can smell anything, and I can pretty much say it does not stink, because the ammonia will evaporate in whilst you're using fresh urine. Aged urine is a bit stronger, but just go fresh. It's kind of cool. So basically, give it a try. Feel free to blog your experiences down below if you've used it in the past. Also, tell people so that you can share your story, so other like-minded people can find out about it. You can always Google my Urine documentary, which will be streaming soon on other sites around the globe. So there's more information there. There's my Facebook page, and there's urine therapy Facebook groups out there too. So feel free to join in. Subscribe to my page here if you like. There's a lot more videos on urine therapy if you want to learn about it. The computer is a wealth of information. So hope this helps. And, basically you just want to be free of that itch, free of that ugly sort of feeling inside your skin. There are other things you could do, like dietary changes. No MSG can trigger these things, but I'm not going into that aspect because basically I'm not a naturopath. But those elements or added elements can really help as well. All right, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Bye.